Okay, so today we're digging into something really interesting. We've got these sources, right? It starts off looking like just a road trip, kind of casual,
Yeah.
but then it twists into something much deeper. We've got journal entries from this guy, Deb, on his trip, but then there's this other layer, a diary from someone who's passed away.
It's fascinating how they intertwine, isn't it? Deb's trip, the sort of adventurous, maybe slightly forced getaway,
Yeah,
it actually becomes the way we uncover this much darker hidden story.
exactly.
The whole thing hinges on Deb trying to figure out why this trip, why now, and what's actually in that diary he's carrying around. It's like his roadmap.
It really is. And the sources give us this, first-person view of the road trip. You've got these clashing personalities, the banter. It feels very real.
Mm-hmm.
But simmering underneath is this diary, pointing towards Dailerdon, maybe further. So we're going to look at both sides, the road trip chaos, the laughs, the arguments.
And the really heavy stuff hidden in the diary.
Yeah.
The secret driving the whole thing.
Yeah, how they connect. Okay, so let's start with the characters. We have Deb. He's our narrator. And he's got this secret mission, basically.
Right. He's trying to find someone called Regini.
Yeah, Regini, who was the girlfriend of R.D., the guy whose diary Deb has. And Deb, he's engaged to Avantika, seems kind of reserved.
But his thoughts are racing. You can tell.
Totally. He feels awkward about it, like going on a road trip to trace a dead guy's girlfriend. It sounds weird, he knows.
And then there's Shrey.
Yeah.
Oh boy, Shrey.
Haha.
Yeah. The wild card, described as almost a prehistoric caveman.
He's the loud one, overreacts, does something dramatic, maybe kind of cool, and then, says something about sex.
Classic Shrey, apparently. But he's also surprisingly the numbers guy for their business.
Yeah, good at number crunching, handles accounts. And he's the one who actually suggests the vacation because sales were up.
So Deb sees his chance.
Exactly. It's not just two buddies deciding to hit the road. There's this undercurrent right away. Purpose versus, well, whatever Shrey is after.
And how Deb kind of nudges him into it is interesting, too. Yeah, he uses this old promise about book sales. Clever, really. Shrey jumps at it, but sets the rules. Shoestring budget.
Right. The $10,000 each, plus emergency cash. Sleeping on railway stations if they have to.
Even though they just had good sales. But that's Shrey. And then the car.
The car.
The 1989 Jeep. Shrey calls it vintage.
Deb calls it a death trap. A piece of scrap. Worn out doorknobs, creaky suspension. You get the picture.
And Deb hates driving it.
Absolutely hates it. And that car, it really becomes this symbol, doesn't it? Deb's on this, secret, almost sacred quest.
Stuck in Shrey's busted old Jeep.
Yeah, stuck in Shrey's very practical, very uncomfortable reality.
It really highlights how different their priorities are. So Deb, playing his cards close, only tells Shrey they're going to Daradun once they're already driving.
And Shrey just rolls with it.
Apparently, yeah. No questions asked. Maybe just happy to be on vacation.
Okay.
And their chat in the car is quite revealing. Shrey teases Deb like, oh, finally out of your girlfriend's lap.
And Deb's thinking, you know how girlfriends kind of turn you into a woman while Shrey's still this caveman?
It nails that feeling of growing up, doesn't it? How friendships change.
Yeah, like they used to talk about boobs and porn in college. Now it's Indian foreign policy. It's painful sometimes growing up.
And speaking of painful,
Yeah.
the trip hits a snag pretty fast.
Oh, yeah. 3 hours in, the Death Trap Jeep lives up to its name, breaks down.
Of course it does.
So they end up stranded at this, filthy motel, truck stop place, nowhere near Daradun.
Right. And this is where that contrast really slams home, isn't it?
Totally. Deb calls his fiancée Avantika.
And she's staying at the Taj Hotel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
While he's in this grimy motel, Avantika gets annoyed about Shrey being there. You can feel the tension.
But what does Deb do, even stuck there?
He pulls out the diary again, reads it for the 5th time, cover to cover. He finds it exhilarating, tracing this dead man's path. His focus is just laser-like. The motel, the breakdown, it's just noise compared to the diary.
That really shows his commitment, doesn't it?
Oh,
Despite the chaos.
It really does. So eventually, despite the car drama, they make it to Daradun. Deb had to drive the torture Jeep up the hills.
Ouch.
Yeah, but the weather gets nicer, cooler, and it makes him miss Avantika. But soon as they arrive, what's his priority? Not what Shrey wants.
Shrey wants to rest. Or, as Deb suspects.
Yeah, Deb thinks Shrey's probably looking for girls, hookers, something. But Deb says he doesn't have a minute to waste.
So, no rest for Deb.
Nope. hires a taxi, goes straight to this place called Imperial Academy, the biggest boarding school there.
Okay, so the investigation begins properly now.
Right. And he's pretty resourceful. He uses this press trick.
Pretends to be a reporter.
Yeah, claims he's from the press to get info. He starts looking at these felicitation boards, like honor rolls.
Trying to find a name from the diary.
Exactly. And bingo, he finds Piyush Makija listed as all-rounder of the batch in 2007.
That's Papu, the guy RD mentions.
That's the one. The school admin gives him an address in Haridwar and a landline number for Piyush.
Okay, a solid lead. Does it work?
Nope. The number's dead. Doesn't work.
So not quite a dead end, but...
But it tells him where to go next. Haridwar.
Haridwar.
Yeah.
Which is a bit awkward considering Shrey's an atheist, right?
Yeah, Deb realizes he's now got to convince his atheist caveman friend to go on a pilgrimage, basically, for a mission Shrey knows nothing about.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun conversation.
Right. But just as Deb's feeling like, mission accomplished for the moment, he gets back to the hotel.
And finds Shrey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He finds the door blocked, hears footsteps, and discovers Shrey with Taya.
Taya, the 17-year-old girl they mentioned earlier.
The very same. It gets messy. She claims it's her 18th birthday, then admits she lied to make Shrey miss her, then says, no, wait, it is her birthday.
Oh, wow. Drama.
Total drama. And Deb is just annoyed, judgmental, thinking no space for a girl on our road trip. Then he calls Avantika, tells her.
Yeah.
Predictably, Avantika gets furious. First at Shrey, then at Deb for being with Shrey.
So Deb's caught in the middle.
Completely. He feels out of place, maybe even a bit jealous, but then he has this thought like, okay, I'm not angry at Shrey anymore. Tia is 18, she can have frenzied hormones and wear lacy lingerie. It's like he's just resigned to Shrey's chaos.
It just perfectly contrasts their whole approaches, doesn't it? Shrey living completely in the moment, Deb wrestling with this secret mission and his own relationship baggage.
Absolutely. It's a snapshot of the whole trip dynamic.
And while Deb's navigating that mess, we need to remember what's driving him. Let's talk about RD's diary itself, because this is where it gets really intense.
Yeah, the diary isn't just clues, it's heavy.
It's a confession, really.
Yeah.
A confession of guilt that seems to have defined RD's life. That first entry, Deb reads, October 5th, 2010. It's rough.
It really is. Artie was only 15, ninth grade. Says he was a bully, even though he was smart. And he describes this incident. Drunk driving during a vacation, racing a truck. A man jumped out of his way, but right into the path of the truck. Crushed under the wheels, the truck driver just took off.
And RD saw it all.
He believes he killed a man, calls himself a monster. He was too scared to even check if the man was alive or dead. Just ran.
That's horrifying for a kid.
He felt like God saw everything, that he was being punished. He says, point blank, totally my fault. And then he connects it to someone named Nivedita.
Nivedita, who the sources strongly suggest is actually Regini, right? Or someone very close.
Seems likely, yeah. And R.D. vows Regini will never know this. He says she's a gentle soul. She'd never talk to me if I tell her this.
Wow. So that secret is right there from the beginning of their potential relationship. What a burden.
Incredible weight. And the second entry, just 12 days later, October 17th, it shows how that incident changed him.
How so?
Well, first, he confirms he's certainly in love with her, Regini. They've started dating outside college. But also his stance on alcohol.
Ah, right. He refuses to drink at all.
Completely. No such thing as drinking responsibly, he says. It's clearly tied directly back to the accident. He won't even let Regini try booze.
That's intense. It shows how deep that trauma runs.
Definitely. And then Regini asks about his old boarding school days, which leads him to talk about Papu.
Piyush Makija, the guy Deb just found the name for.
The very same. And RD's feelings about him are complicated. He admits Papu was better at everything, way better football player, better looking, better marks, everyone's hero.
While RD saw himself as...
just an angry bully. He straight up admits he was jealous, resented him.
And Regini being the gentle soul.
She suggests RD should call Papu, mend things.
And RD's reaction.
He resists. Says, it has been 5 years now and we haven't talked. Thinks Papu must have forgotten him anyway.
So that rivalry, that resentment, it's still there. Unresolved. Tied up with his guilt, maybe.
Seems like it. He can't face Papu. Maybe he can't face that part of his own past, especially with this huge secret hanging over him. Regini's pushing him towards connection, but his past is like this wall.
It adds such a layer of tragedy to his character. He's trying to love Regini, build something new, but he's trapped by this event and these old feelings. The secret isn't just a secret. It's actively shaping his present.
Absolutely. So, if we step back,
Hmm.
what we have are these two really distinct threads. You've got Deb on his kind of mad quest, following breadcrumbs from a diary, dealing with Shrey's craziness.
Very present-day adventure, lots of immediate problems.
Right. And then you have RD's voice from the past, from the diary. Haunted, guilty, deeply in love, but also wrestling with this old rivalry.
It's the adventure versus the confession, the chase versus the weight of the past,
Mm,
and they feed into each other.
yeah. So what does this tell us, you think, connecting it all?
Well, it raises some big questions, doesn't it, about truth and secrets? Like how far is too far to go digging for someone else's truth? Like Deb is. Is he crossing lines?
That's a good point, his press trick and all that.
And then the cost of keeping secrets, the RD's massive secret. Can love, real love, actually work when it's built on something like that? On a lie of omission, that fundamental.
Yeah, can it? His fear that Regina would leave if she knew? It dictates everything.
It impacts how he acts, his refusal to drink, maybe even his inability to reconnect with Papu. It's not just hidden, it's actively shaping his relationships, his view of himself. He still carries that monster label internally.
It's that contrast that makes it so compelling, I think. The almost comical chaos of the road trip with Shrey.
Compared to the darkness and weight of Artie's secret life.
Yeah. And the internal struggles within each character. Deb juggling his mission, Avantika, Shrey being, well, Shrey.
And Artie torn between love and guilt. Each of them is battling something unseen by the others. It's about what's happening inside them as much as the external events.
Definitely more than just a road trip story.
Absolutely. Our deep dive today really pulls back the curtain on, the layers of being human. There's the chase for a story, the kind of crazy freedom of a road trip, but also the crushing weight of secrets.
All from one old diary. Love, guilt, rivalry. This whole search for answers.
It really shows how the past, even when you try to bury it, just keeps bubbling up, shaping who we are now.
Yeah. So this whole journey, Deb's journey and ours looking into these sources, it leaves us with something to think about, maybe for you listening.
Hmm.
How much does what we don't know about the people we're closest to, how much does that really shape how we see them and maybe how we see ourselves?